The NBA season is here. My favorite time of the year. We all know, for people that don't know, basketball is my favorite sport. I love basketball. It's my, I don't get me wrong, I like football too, but basketball is still basketball. So, with the season starting, I want to give my predictions. I want to give my award predictions. Let's start with the MVP. The MVP can go a lot of ways. To me, this is one of the first years where a lot of people have narratives. And the MVP is more of a narrative-based thing. Now, yeah, you have to be talented and you have to be good. You have to put up the numbers, but you have to have a narrative. And I see multiple narratives, man. I can see Giannis getting it because, it's Giannis, and he's the best player in the world at this point. I can see Steph and leading the Warriors to another championship run. I can see Luka. He's one of the best young talents. I can see KD. There's a lot of people that can be MVP this year. That also speaks to just how talented the league is. But for my MVP, I am going to go with Joel Embiid. I'm going to go with Joel Embiid because if Joel Embiid has the seasons like he had the last 2 years, which he finished second both of them years, I don't think that the voters are going to be like, yeah, we got to make him second again. I understand that going into this season, Luka Doncic is like the favorite for the third straight year, but I'm going to go Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid is arguably the best center in the league. If he has a season, I think that he's going to have a season like he did last year. I don't think he's going to lead the league in scoring again, but I think he's going to have a good season. And I believe that Philly is going to see more success in year than they did last year. So I have Joel Embiid winning the MVP. Defensive Player of the Year. This might be a little surprising to people, but I think Kawhi Leonard. I think people, because he hasn't played that long, he didn't play all last year, and because we haven't seen him play in a while, we forget just how good of a defender he is. I understand Rudy Gobert is out there. I was thinking about Draymond Green, but I don't know if the voters are going to vote him for what happened, and But I have Kawhi Leonard. I think Kawhi Leonard is going to remind people, "Ayo, I'm still that dude when it comes to defense, especially on-ball defense." I just think Kawhi Leonard is going to be that good. Kawhi Leonard is Kawhi Leonard. Let's not forget. I mean, before his injury, a lot of people were saying he could arguably be the best player in the league. So I think that he's going to remind people just how good defensively he is. So I have Kawhi Leonard. Most improved player, I have Tyrese Maxey. Now, I think that he is going to play a huge part in the success of how far Philly goes. I do want to see what James Harden looks like with an entire year with the Philadelphia 76ers. But I think that the James Harden is going to be James Harden. For the last few years or the last year or two, it looks like he's not really able to separate like that. But Tyrese Maxey is on a different level when we talk about speed and quickness. So I think that Tyrese Maxey is going to be going to play a huge part. So I have Tyrese Maxey. I just think there's going to be a lot put on him, and at least what we've heard and what we see in the preseason, he looks really good. So I have Tyrese Maxey as most improved. Sixth man of the year, going to Jordan Poole. Cuz got the big money. We know what happened. To me, he should have won most improved player last year. I think he understands, from what we're hearing it with his work ethic and hell, what we're seeing when we look at the increase in volume and scoring and just how good he is. I think he should have won most improved player last year. Jordan Poole, he understands, especially with the money that they just gave him, he understands how important he is to this team as far as not only their future, but their present in trying to repeat as a champion. Coming off the bench, that scoring power, I think he's going to be good. I mean, hell, he looked good in the preseason. And I think he's going to be good. So I have Jordan Poole, sixth man of the year. Coach of the year, I have Mike Malone. I think this is going to be a good year for Denver. I'm going to give my predictions a little late or in a minute, but finals and everything. But I think this is going to be a good year for Denver. I think when they get Michael Porter Jr. back, they get Jamal Murray back, and of course you have the two-time reigning MVP and Nikola Jokic. This is going to be a good year. Aaron Gordon's still there. It's going to be a good year, and I think that they're going to be, at least record-wise, top, if not close to the top in the West. So I have Coach of the Year Mike Malone. Rookie of the Year, Paolo Banchero. I just think from what we've seen in the preseason, He looks like the far and away best rookie in the league. It was going to be a little, to me, it was going to be kind of, you can argue him and Chet, but with Chet being out for the year, Paolo looks like the runaway favorite to me, and he looks really good in the preseason. So I have Paolo Banchero, rookie of the year. For my finals, let me start with my sleeper final MVP. Now I don't know, this could happen. There's a lot of great teams, especially in the East this year, and hell, there's a lot of great teams in the league. But my sleeper finals prediction, or a finals matchup, I'm not going to give the winner because it's a sleeper. My sleeper finals prediction is Philly and Denver. It's hard for me to put my faith in, and it's hard for me to put my faith in Tobias Harris. I'll tell you that. But I from what we're hearing, James Harden is in shape, and Joel Embiid is motivated. Tyrese Maxey has made a big leap. Getting PJ Tucker, especially defensively, is big. So I have Milton. I think that that's going to be a good team. I think that's going to be a really good team, and I would not be shocked if you look up and they're in the finals. And I just talked about Denver. Denver made it all the way to the playoffs without their two best players, or without two of their three best players. Now, the other best player, which Nikola Jokic, was there, but they didn't have Jamal Murray for all of the season, and they didn't have Michael Porter Jr. for most of the season. I just think people don't understand how big of acquisitions those are for Denver, and play alongside someone like Nikola Jokic, as we've seen in the bubble. Now, I know it's the bubble, but Jamal Murray can go crazy, and Michael Porter Jr. can go crazy. I think Denver is going to be really good this year. I think they're going to be really good, and I think that they're going to have something to say about who makes it to the finals. Now, my actual finals prediction, that was my sleeper. My actual finals prediction is Milwaukee versus Golden State. I think Golden State in the West is the most complete team. They can go 4 or 5 deep, and you can't really say that. You can't say that about any other team. Now, you thought it was going to be the Phoenix Suns, and I do think the Phoenix Suns are going to be okay this year. I just think, when any given night, it can be someone different. Any given night, it can be Steph. It can be Clay. It can be Andrew Wiggins, who also got a bag. Congratulations to you, brother. It can be Jordan Poole. And the thing that I need to see, and that's going to really shape this year, in my opinion, it's not the Draymond Green-Jordan Poole relationship. It is how Golden State needs Jonathan Kuminga to improve. They need James Wiseman to improve. I mean, James Wiseman is the second overall pick. Jonathan Kuminga is a lottery pick. They need Dante DiVincenzo that they got from Milwaukee. I think they got from Sacramento. So I just think those are young. That's young talent. They did lose Otto Porter Jr., which was big, especially defensively. They did lose Gary Payton, which was huge defensively, but they're hoping that Moody and Kuminga and Jonathan Wiseman can pick up the slack. And if that's the case, like if James Wiseman can look anything in the regular season like he did in the preseason, playing alongside a Clay and a Steph and a Draymond Green, it's going to be a problem. Same as Jonathan Kuminga. They're going to use him probably a lot for the 3 and 4. And he is athletic as hell. It looks like he jumps from a trampoline every single time. This is going to be big, and I have Golden State winning the championship. I have Golden State in 7. I like the Bucks because the Bucks is a team. The Bucks is a team. The Bucks are a complete team. When you talk about Giannis, they have the best player in the world, and playing alongside Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton is going to miss a couple weeks with rehabbing from surgery, but Chris Middleton is very underrated and very important for this team, alongside Drew Holiday and Bobby Portis is important for the team. Now, the only reason why I have Golden State is because, to me, they have more people that can win. Kind of like what we saw with this year's final, or last year's finals, I guess you could say, which was Golden State and Boston. While Boston had more to me, Boston was a better team, but Golden State, more people stepped up in big situations. Steph Curry stepped up. I mean, he was a Finals MVP. Andrew Wiggins stepped up defensively. when they needed him, Clay hit some big shots late in the series. So I just, Gary Payton Jr., especially defensively, was big. Otto Porter hit some big shots. So I just think Golden State can hit you with a lot. And I have Golden State going back to back. So those are my predictions. What are your predictions? What do you think is going to happen? Who do you think is going to make it out the West? Who do you think is going to make it out the East? What do you think is going to happen with the Lakers and Russell Wilson and Pat Bev and LeBron, Anthony Davis? What do you think is going to happen with Golden State? What do you think is going to happen with Brooklyn? Do you think Brooklyn is going to be able to make it to the championship with Ben Simmons and KD and Kyrie? Let me know what you think.